For all your t-shirt needs, check out TeePublic's Killer Selection. Follow the link in the description. Hey, what's up people? Pizzal here, and today I want to talk to you guys about the new Severin Films Blu-ray release for 1989's Shocking Dark. Now, this is partially going to be a review of the movie as well as a review of this Blu-ray release. And Shocking Dark was directed by Bruno Mattei. Now, if you're familiar with my channel, you've heard me talk about Bruno Mattei several times in the past. And I don't intend for what I'm about to say to come off as mean, but Bruno Mattei was a master thief, an unabashed, unrepentant thief. If you look at his IMDb resume, he directed countless films under countless pseudonyms, and the one thing that most of those films have in common is that they are a direct ripoff of a more popular movie. For instance, the film Cruel Jaws, which Mr. Mattei directed in the early 90s. I actually did a review for the film a few years ago. Go check out that video. In other parts of the country, that movie was released as Jaws 5. That movie actually recycles footage from Jaws 4. Universal actually, I believe they sued the producers of Cruel Jaws, aka Jaws 5. Basically the movie could not be released in the US. So Bruno Mattei had some big cojones, put it that way. He had some really big cojones. The guy had the rocks of Gibraltar in his pants. And in the case of Shocking Dark, shocking is a very appropriate word to include in this title, because Bruno Mattei literally doubles down in Shocking Dark. He goes, let's rip off Aliens, but let's rip off Terminator too. In Shocking Dark, Bruno Mattei basically takes Aliens, the Terminator, a big block of government cheese, throws it all into a blender and hits puree, and the end result is Shocking Dark. It's the year 2000, and Venice has been reduced to a squalid wasteland thanks to pollution, and the only things left in Venice are these creatures that live underground. Now it's up to this elite task force, and I use the term elite as lightly as possible, but a military task force known as Megaforce to go under the city and take care of these creatures. And I hardly know where to begin when it comes to describing Shocking Dark. It is masterful in its ineptness. It is a poorly made film on each and every level. The acting in the film goes from some of the most flat, affectless acting you've ever seen in a movie. Dialogue that I'm shocked Bruno didn't go, okay, cut. Try that again, or at least in the editing process, kind of cut out the pauses. There's one actor in particular whose dialogue is like, we're going to the city to kill the monsters. Let's go. It's like he takes these very Christopher Walken type pauses, but he is in no way, shape, form, or fashion Christopher Walken. It's like he's got to think of his dialogue in the middle of the sentence. Why that wasn't cut up a little bit, why Bruno just didn't go, okay, take two. I have no idea. The acting in the film goes from completely flat to some of the most over-the-top acting, overwrought acting I've ever seen. It goes to the point where it's hilarious for a while, and then it gets to the point where I was just shaking my head going, please kill these people. Please kill these people. The creatures in the movie, they look like rubber puppets with like Vaseline smeared on them. The Megaforce task force, they are just some of it's the most eclectic, you would think of, like, when you think of aliens, you think of, those badass Marines. The Megaforce in Shocking Dark, one dude is like a surfer guy. You've got, it's absolutely ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. As far as it's aliens. The first 3/4 of this movie is aliens. It's almost like a shot-for-shot remake of Aliens made on a much lower budget with really bad production values, really bad acting. But it's aliens. It is practically aliens shot for shot. They even discover a little girl who's survived on her own under the city. Her parents have been killed by these monsters. You've even got this self-destruct sequence ending where our final girl, the Shocking Dark's version of Sigourney Weaver, who you couldn't call her the poor man's Sigourney Weaver. Even calling her the hobo's Sigourney Weaver sounds like an insult. But that last act with her and the little girl running around, and the little girl just screaming, Sarah, Sarah, I'm scared, Sarah, Sarah. And then the hobo's Sigourney Weaver screaming, Samantha, where are you? Samantha. It's mind-blowing. It's absolutely mind-blowing. And then they throw the Terminator at you because one of the characters in the film is secretly a cyborg. And the entire movie, he's been acting normal. He's just been acting like a regular human being. However, once his cover has been blown that he's a cyborg, for some reason he starts walking around, very cyborg robot-like. I don't know. I don't know what that was about. The movie even goes back in time. There's this crazy twist, and it's insane. This movie is completely and utterly insane, and it was actually written by Claudio Fragazzo, and if that name sounds familiar, it should, because Claudio Fragazzo and his wife are the duo that brought us Troll 2. So you've got the Troll 2 Claudio Fragazzo script directed by Bruno Mattei. There's movies that you watch them and you go, how did this get made? How does this movie exist? And then there are movies like Shocking Dark that you watch and you question your own existence. You question existence, period. I don't know what to say. This is just an insane movie. This is a crazy, crazy movie. It makes absolutely no sense. It's just... This Blu-ray release from Severin Films is a fantastic release. The picture quality and the sound quality are both fantastic. It sports a 2K scan of the original 35mm director's cut that was discovered in a Rome lab vault. the movie looks and sounds better than it has any reason looking and sounding. Severin Films really did this film a service. I mean, God bless Severin Films. God bless Severin Films. They took a film like Shocking Dark and they said, you know what? We're going to roll out the red carpet for this movie. And, oh my goodness. Wow. Well, as far as extras are concerned, we have got Terminator in Venice, an interview with co-director, co-screenwriter Claudio Fragazzo. It's 13 minutes and 14 seconds in length. Fragazzo's wife, who's also his writing partner, discusses how the investors of Shocking Dark wanted something based on both the Terminator and Alien, but she confesses to mostly ripping off, her own words, aliens. She describes how the film was shot inside a real nuclear plant, which doesn't surprise me. I'm sure if they checked, there was had to be something leaking in there that got into people's heads and just, I don't know. Fragazzo discusses how the film was marketed as Terminator 2 at the same time as Cameron's Terminator 2 was actually in theaters, and how audiences expecting to see Cameron's T2 when they walked into Terminator 2 Shocking Dark were not happy. To say the least, they were not happy. Fragazzo says that the worst part of the film was the design of the creatures, which the creatures, like I said, they look, wow. And there was way too much dialogue in the movie. Yes, there is way too much dialogue in the movie, particularly toward the end. And I have to say, it's interesting because Shocking Dark rips off not one, but two Cameron movies. But the last act of Shocking Dark, there are some sequences that are eerily similar to Terminator 2, particularly sequences that happen toward the end of Terminator 2. So, did Shocking Dark rip off Cameron, and then Cameron in turn ripped off Shocking Dark? No, he didn't, but I just thought that was interesting. Anyway, very interesting, entertaining interview with Claudio Fragazzo. Next up, we have Once Upon a Time in Italy. It's 12 minutes and 44 seconds in length. It's an interview with actress Giuretta. She discusses growing up in Portland, moving to New York to pursue acting, and eventually moving to Italy in order to be a model. And they're in Italy getting cast in movies like Rats, directed by Bruno Mattei. She discusses working with Bruno Mattei. She discusses working with Lucio Fulci on Murder Rock, and Lamberto Bava and Dario Argento on Demons. She discusses working on Shocking Dark and how low budget the film was. She adds that Bruno Mattei was like an uncle to her. Very nice interview with Miss Giuretta. We get an alternate Italian titles sequence, which includes the title Terminator 2. We get a trailer for the film, which appears to have been a trailer for the Asian market, in which it was under the title of Alienator. This is a very nice Blu-ray release from Shocking Dark, from Severin Films. You've got great picture quality and sound quality on this release, and some nice extras. If you're a fan of So Bad They're Good movies, or of just movies that are completely and utterly WTF, definitely look into Shocking Dark. This is a completely insane, thoroughly whacked out of its gourd kind of movie that you've just got to experience it. It's an experience. I think that's the best way I can sum it up. However, it's an experience that I recommend you experience. Yeah, I'll put a link to Severin Films' website down in the description. Go over and check them out. If you like this video, please leave it a thumbs up. If you're not following me on social media, those links are in the description. They're also right around here. As always, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Take care, and until next time, peace. Join the $1 a month club and help support my channel on Patreon. Thank you to my current patrons: Kevin Smythe, Orc145626, B Movie Mike, Stephen Flanagan, Lori Holt, Mitch Odell, Craig Farrand, Robert Sobel, Farron Sutton, Jeremiah Lambert, Turi Delamore, Joseph Charlesworth, Grindhouse Grotto, Derek Jana, PB Sam 6, Demon Waffles, Tim Williams, and Stone Gassman. Say hello to the internet, Jeremy.
Hello to the internet.